Hello everybody, this is Fernando for the latest Cryptids and Monsters video. Alright, let's go ahead and we'll start a whole new series here based on your suggestions. This time around I wanted to ask everyone about doing some of those North American lumberjack cryptids, the ones that apparently either lived throughout, let's say, the early frontier years of America and are still around, or just ended up dying out somehow afterward. So a lot of these tales, they have some very weird, some very fascinating creatures, and I've talked about a bunch of them in the past, so that's why I wanted to talk about some new ones here, because they are always a joy to talk about. So this one has to do with a very unique creature that I don't know if it's still out there to this day, just wandering around the fields or the forests of North America. But it is again another one of those stories that lumberjacks told each other within the frontiers. It has to do with a unique creature with its legs. It has some very, very unique set of legs, and it goes by several names. So I'm going to go ahead and go by what is called the most common name, which is otherwise known as the Sidehill Gouger, which you're looking at a picture of here. This creature, again, it's a creature that I would love to talk about, and I'll share all the information here in a minute. By far, though, the most interesting thing you'll see right away has to do with its legs. That is its most fascinating, unique characteristic. And the reason is, one set of legs, let's say, I'll just throw out, for example, the left set of legs, are longer than the right hand set of legs. And the reason for this is because this is a creature that always lives on hillsides. So the way nature has adapted it, the way that evolution has changed it, it's basically made its legs, one set of legs, shorter than the other, from one side at least when compared to the other, so that way when it's living on the hillsides it has no problems galloping up and down the hillsides themselves. And so quite a unique creature, and it kind of makes somewhat of a sense because we've all seen how the nature and evolution, it'll adapt and make sure that certain animals can do certain things or live certain ways based on their environment. And in this case, it has to do with a creature that lives on the hills. Now, as far as how it looks like, it's been described as being a deer. Just think of your average deer, but for the fact that it tends to have a unique set of ears that are almost rabbit shaped. So they're long and they're also elongated, probably even droopy towards the sides. Some reports have also stated that it has fangs as well. So I don't know if it's, let's say, using those fangs for any bad purposes, but they're definitely not tied to food because it's been described as being a herbivore. So all it does is just purely eat, let's say, maybe some insects here and there, but also mainly just plants. And the way the stories go is that people that found these creatures, they found those unique legs on it, and they would marvel at the way it could easily walk up and down hills and rocky terrains. And even if you tried to, let's say, chase after one of them, you would basically have no chance because of those legs. It would easily escape your grasp and then just go up on top of the hill, probably just stare down at you, and then disappear afterward. So if you wanted to, let's say, capture it or do something on its own terrain, you've got no chance. However, on the flip side, if this creature ever falls, let's say, onto normal land, let's say just flat place land, just your average bottom of the hill type thing, then it is at a huge disadvantage. And the reason for it is because with these Sidehill Gougers, it's been said that if it ever is on a level ground, it'll easily be captured because it cannot run on its stunted legs. It'll probably try to hop around here and there, but definitely it will not be able to run. And in other reports, I don't know how it got this far, but apparently some of them even starve to death. And this is because of their inability to make it back up to their terrain because of their stunted legs. So I don't know how things got that far, but apparently that's the way it goes with regards to these creatures. Apparently these creatures, even though they're mammals, they lay eggs, so that's a unique feature as well. And then I was reading something else, and it was stating that the Sidehill Gougers apparently are all female. But I don't know exactly how that is, but either they produce asexually, or they do something else, but apparently they're also all female, and so when it comes to that, that's why maybe they lay eggs. They just produce asexually in order to continue their species. Another interesting fact about these Sidehill Gougers is that some of them will have, let's say, their left-handed legs, or the left side legs, be the shorter ones, and the right-hand ones be the longer ones. Others will have it the opposite, like they'll have the right-hand legs the opposite of the left-hand ones. And the reason why this is apparently some of them are considered clockwise gougers, and others counterclockwise gougers. I guess it has to do with whatever hill the Sidehill Gougers happen to be born on, or more importantly, be raised throughout their life, because it seems like the idea is if you're born, let's say, on the left side of a hill, then as these Sidehill Gougers are growing up, then their stunted legs become one end, and then if they're born on the right-hand side, then their stunted legs are the opposite end. And this is also very fascinating because there seem to be some territorial battles between the two of them, and that what happens is when a clockwise gouger meets a counterclockwise gouger and they fight, they sometimes have to fight to the death because they can only go in one direction. They can't exactly fight on the opposite end of the hill, and so when that happens, that becomes a problem for them too. So stories about where these gougers came from: apparently they were somewhere in New England originally, but they were brought over. Apparently this was also done as a way to show them off, like let's say as entertainment in some kind of circuses. People apparently paid to see them at the circus, but that eventually the last set of the Sidehill Gougers somehow escaped, and that's how they came across, let's say, to North America. After they arrived here and were on circus entertainment platforms, they escaped into the woods and then haven't been seen since, or they have up to this day. It's just they've been a very, very mysterious creature. So quite fascinating. The Sidehill Gougers, it goes by different names. For example, some of them are known as the Cuter Curse. Others are known as the Guya Scutus, I think is another name. Another one's called the Rickaboo Racker, the Sidehill Wowzer, the Sidewinder, the Gwinter, the Hunkus. I mean, there's a bunch of names that are tied to this creature, but at least for a general purpose, it's definitely known as the Sidehill Gouger. Very fascinating creature. I haven't heard of this one before. If anyone has any more information with regards to it, it'll be great to hear, especially, like, let's say where they're located here in North America. They seem, again, with them being asexual and they're laying eggs, they seem to have like a huge population of shorts, because the idea is that they apparently have 6 to 8 of their clan or their pups to a litter. So each time one of them is about to have babies, they don't just have one, they have 6 to 8 in total. So multiply that by, let's say, several times during their lifetime, and you have a creature that could have a large population somewhere out there in America. How they've been able to survive so long and not be captured, or at least have any kind of photos, videos, any sightings, I don't know. But at least apparently back then, during the lumberjack age, they were plentiful, and that's where all these tales come about. Any more recent ones, if anyone has any more information with regards to that, that would be great to hear too. So, alright everybody, what do you guys think? The Sidehill Gouger, another lumberjack cryptid, very unique creature. Love talking about these things, so be on the lookout for more videos throughout the week. Thanks everybody, take care, bye.